Looks like we're live. Hi, guys. It's Ona and Dr. Vicky. And
Hello.
it's time for Mystic Sisters.
Woo woo.
Today, the last day in November, the 30th, 2024. It's almost the end of the Thanksgiving weekend. How did yours go?
It was wonderful. It was just me and Michael, and we had delicious food, and I got to work in the morning, and that was it. I didn't know we didn't go to family, so we didn't have any. Not that family is necessarily stressful for us, but we didn't have to interact with anybody, so we
Yeah.
were good. We were good.
Yeah.
How about yours? How was yours?
I just hung out with giblets all day. It was that type of week. I already saw my kid. Happy Thanksgiving. That was fun, and purposefully stayed in because the energy was really impulsive this week. So if I could go back and backpedal on whatever was opposing whatever, and I know Mars is involved in there and Mercury went retrograde, people were pissed off. So it felt like I needed to stay inside, and I did, and I chilled. And it's honestly been brutally cold right now.
Mm-hmm.
Just spiraled went south. We're in the teens with wind chills. I just want to say one thing. Thank you, Anna. Thank you so much. That's very, very nice. Anna contributed to the channel. Hi, everybody. Hi, Wendy, Diana, Desiree. Can you see, Vicky?
I can, yeah. Teresa, Jana, Desiree, Cindy. I saw Paula earlier. Teresa, Moonchild.
Yes, and Teresa. You know what? Drop your wound in the comment section.
Drop your wound at the door.
Drop your wound in the comment section, and we'll see, because the week was supercharged and I chose to step away from it. Texted my cousins or talked to them, and at least make sure everybody had made it through this. This is a hard one for everybody. In my generation, X, it's that time where people start kind of dropping off. Your ancestors are changing form.
Yep.
So it was a tough Thanksgiving, and I didn't want to do anything but chill and watch
or warm up. Christine says it's bitterly cold here in Chicago. Yes, doesn't want to know it.
Yes.
It's pretty cold here too. It's been cold all day.
Christine, were you able to see the lake steam today? I got a picture of it, and I'm like, it's hard to see it, but it was steaming. It'll get worse, but it just dropped off.
Ooh, 14 in Minnesota. Yikes.
Yeah, right? Yeah. And Giblet's guy, he has such a tender constitution. I can't let him go outside.
I know how he feels. I have a pretty tender constitution in this weather too.
You know what I mean? It's really, and I do too. With neuropathy, I have to watch, because the intense cold or the intense heat trigger a long, painful episode. So I try to stay as warm as I can. And Giblets has been, having a hard time not pooping on the sidewalk, because he loves to do that. And
yeah. He wants to show off to his friends, I guess. Oh my goodness.
He does. He likes to make sure people know he rules the block, and he's the last one to piss on everything.
Yeah.
And he hasn't been able to go out there, and I feel awful, but we've been playing he's deaf now. It's hard to play with a squeaky toy. That doesn't work. Doesn't work anymore.
So Ona and I have been kind of discussing what we wanted to talk about tonight, and I think the elephant in the room might be how people are feeling about the election, and greatly disappointed, not just in the fact that Trump won. I'll put that in quotes, but that it doesn't seem like the Democrats, they seem like they're just handing everything over to him, which is beyond. I mean, after spending all that time telling us he was the end of democracy, now they're putting a bow on it. Now, I know that that's probably not really what's happening, but that's what it looks like. And I think that somebody has to say something soon. Otherwise, people are just going to um, self-immolate or something. I don't know. It's
And
just,
that I know, and that is where I have to say it is all kind of in the cards, right? I want to believe that, and I still have like hope and faith, and that we're not just dropping the ball here, are we?
no, well, I've done some readings on it, and
Yes.
it seems like that there's something brewing.
Yes.
And it very well could just be what's going on in Europe with the EU and with, what is it, Finland and I think Norway and Russia and the Ukraine, and
Right.
that whole thing is. And there was an election in Romania that was seemed to it went through Starlink, and it seemed to, like, this guy who wasn't even really on the thing ended up like coming in like first or something. It was some weird thing. And of course, we look at our election and the numbers don't seem to be adding up. People still can't
They
find
don't make
votes.
sense.
And all the official recount requests by the candidate, all those deadlines have passed now.
Yeah.
So she's not asking, but she was on with Walls. They did kind of show up and do a video, but I don't know. I'm not sure if it was a pep talk or if I felt like it was a hostage video of some sort. I don't know. I wasn't sure.
I didn't see that. What was, how recent was that?
This week, I think, but this is the first time they've done anything and come out and really said anything. But
Yeah.
we have to also keep in mind that she's still the vice president. So she's probably, with this thing happening in Europe, she's probably very busy with that. I can't
I'm
imagine.
sure she is. I'm sure, but it's just doesn't seem right. It just doesn't seem like I feel like such a doormat.
Yeah. Cindy Lou says they all need to go. Well, I don't think we should throw out the baby with the bathwater because we have a lot of really good Democrats there. But I think it's I don't I'm not even sure it's their parties. I think it's the money. It's the money in politics. As long as you can buy elections, people are going to buy them. We have to be
Oh
able
yeah.
to get the money out of. That's the only way it's going to ever um, really be fair. This is
Yeah.
it's. But things could change on a dime too. I mean, I do watch Heather Cox Richardson a lot,
Yeah.
and she said, from one year to the next, like the whole country turns around and goes in a different direction, and so you can't really say. And perhaps we need to have this last bitter pill in order for us to at least turn ourselves in the right direction.
Yeah.
You know.
I like the chords you're pulling. I like the chords you're pulling. You're like, we need to get to this point where each day we're over budget on a deadline. Like two of the worst things you could be. And, so we need to start thinking about what the next step is going to look like.
T. Jones says, I felt like the thank you video was a pep talk that fell short on comforting. Yeah, I know. I
Okay.
mean, what can she say, really? I feel like she's being sequestered. That's what it feels like to me. The
Yeah.
energy in December is nuts. It's nuts. And it's starting tomorrow with a new moon in Sag. Then we have a trine between Uranus and Venus, the feminine.
Yeah.
Uranus is about change. The next week, not this coming week, but the next week, we have Mars opposite Venus, which is sort of like a face-off between the feminine
Oh, my
and
ear
the
just started
masculine.
ringing.
But in that opposition, Mars is retrograde. So if we look at it that way, it's possible that the masculine backs off a little bit. So I feel like there's I think the blue wave is still happening, but I'm not sure blue means democracy. I mean, I'm not sure blue means Democrat. That's what I want to say. But blue may mean democracy. I
Okay.
think people are just emotionally um, we all have to go through those 5 stages of grief. And, I think that I'm gone through them all, and then they start all over again. And I'm like, okay, here we go again. Now I want to rip somebody's face off. Thank God for the F word, because if I didn't have the F word, I'd probably be in more trouble than I already am.
I know. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. So no matter what, we're not. I don't think in any way we would be reliving like the first 4 years.
Yeah,
It's
no.
not even going to be 4 years.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. I mean, according to Cash Peters, he doesn't even see him cross the curtain to become the president. So it's very
So
possible.
why are we giving the next 4 years energy? Maybe we just need to think about.
Oh, we don't have to give it energy. I mean, okay, so let me give you an example.
Right? Yeah,
Let me
yeah.
give you an example. There's a woman, and I put her on my page as like on the comment section. What do you call that? The community page.
Yeah.
And I think her name is Dennison. I can't think of her first name off the top of my head. But she used to be on Midas Touch, and she did a
Yes.
tweet on like the election, and it doesn't seem like, why
Yes.
aren't we asking for recounts and this, that, and the other thing. And
Right.
then there's all this uh, uh, what do you call it, to warn. There's like people who've been in the government, that if something is wrong, they have to let them know. They
Yeah.
think something's wrong.
Mhm.
And Midas Touch said, we can't have you on the station if you're going to talk about this stuff. So she got off the Midas Touch. And I thought to myself, what I see happening, and I saw it today, like maybe for the first time. All these people are going down the road of let's see all the things Trump's going to do wrong. Let's see, like the nightmare, like they want us to follow the nightmare down the road. And I don't want to follow the nightmare down the road. I'm not interested in that. I'm not interested in that reality.
Yeah.
I'm interested in making the changes that'll make everybody's life better. So it's not like I'm totally like pulling away, but I think that's why, but even the places like Midas Touch are falling into the trap of everything is Trump, 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 every Trump, 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 Trump. If it's like we have to stop giving the man energy. And as I say his name like a fucking 1,000 times.
Yeah. That's
Sorry,
okay.
ladies. Sorry,
Oh,
ladies and
God.
gentlemen.
Are you kidding?
Jessica Denson. Thank you, Anne Marie. Sorry.
Oh, good.
Yeah, check her out. Definitely subscribe, because now she's on her own and she deserves it. And it's funny because she's not the first woman to come out and say something about this, maybe, that I've seen. Another one that I love to watch is Politics Girl. I don't know if you've
Yeah.
ever watched her. She's fantastic. So, but I find that the women are the ones that are saying the things that are worth listening to. For
Yeah.
the most part. For the most part. I can't say that's true of everyone, because but it seems like it's always the woman who puts her neck out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we'll see what happens, but I think honestly, I don't think it's going to be that it's going to take that long. I don't think it's going to take that long. I think it's a permanent wound that we're working with,
Well, we are working with, you know,
right?
we're working with the Aries, the Chiron and Aries, the bully, and I think we have to realize just how much, I know you and I understand, probably many of the people on this live understand what the United States has done in its history to other countries and how we've bullied and yeah, we've saved the day a few times too, but we've also been like big a-holes.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to like face that. And why wouldn't somebody like that be running things if that's what we do anyway? We really have to come to decide who we are. And I'm not sure. I don't know if we are who. I don't know if we'll ever be who we were, which might be a good thing. But I don't know. If how it's going to. I mean, I kind of do know how it's going to get better. We're
There's
going to individually do our best. Go ahead.
Yeah, there's just such a conflict between what is occurring in the government and what the community in, watching tarot readers or psychics or, astrology and divination and things trying to figure out how we're going to get to the new earth and trying to make things like accessible to everyone. And then this happens. It's like it just drags you backwards. It just drags you backwards.
Well, I guess there are still people who need to learn a lesson with it, and
Yeah, Xander says I quit watching Midas on election night when they put 3 data geeks on, and it got so depressing. I think I stopped watching when it sort of like turned into all the headlines were in bright yellow and large fonts, and if you look at the videos that are available, it looks like headlines on a tabloid.
yeah. Well,
Yellow,
they have
red.
like 4 million subscribers now, or they're trying to get 4 million subscribers.
And I hope they do. I
Well,
hope they
if
do.
they do, I hope they start talking about stuff that counts. I mean, I do love legal AF. I like the legal stuff because I'm not a lawyer and I learn stuff. Sometimes it's a little dry. Like I know why I'm not a lawyer because I can't listen to it for that long. There's not enough magic in law for me. That has
Yeah.
to be imagination.
Plus, we're trying to climb out of that energy. Where like in the beginning, you're like, this has to stop. The thing I have noticed is there are a lot of more tarot readers coming up on YouTube, and I don't know if it's like TikTok or whatever other social media. It's blending into YouTube maybe, which I like, because when people are in crisis, they look for a spiritual answer,
Well,
a
I think
symbol.
I think they're doing it because it doesn't feel right. Their own intuition is saying this
Yeah,
isn't right. This can't be right. I
yeah,
can't believe this is true.
right.
Now, it may be true. It may very well be true, but we should at least ask the question and not just
Right.
acquiesce. We need to fight this. These guys are criminals. They've always been criminals, and they had 4 years to plan this.
Yeah,
Now we're having a bloodless coup instead of a regular coup. It's not, and it kind of depends on what goes on. I don't want to be a bummer, and I don't want to like really. I don't want to be the person who says this could happen, that could happen, this could fuck it. And again,
yeah.
there it comes out again. See, do we get promoted to the Islam? Is that a bad thing? I don't even know what you can say
Not a
anymore.
problem. It's not a problem.
Oh my God.
That's what we just say. Drop your wounds here, right? If you're angry, it's understandable. If your expectations were that you were going to have a heightened sense of emotions, and and it was a mellow day, that's not a bad day. It's really it's kind of climbing out of the, you know, what's happening here. If you practice the like that name or that voice uh is not allowed here. He is, you know, he's in the, you know, pity corner and can't say anything right now. I don't allow it, and it actually helps. It helps. So I don't stay on top of that news so much as just, you know, how my immediate environment is reacting,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
They said it wouldn't be violent if the Dems let it be. Yeah, I know the guy from the Heritage found that creepy guy from the Heritage Foundation. I saw a really good video with one of my faves, Sheldon Whitehouse. I love Sheldon. He's from Rhode Island. That's the little state next to us. So I have an affection for Rhode Island. I had my first sushi in Providence, and I was like, "Wow, this is really
Oh,
good."
wow.
Yeah, that was the first time I ever had sushi. Was in Providence, Rhode Island. It's a great eating city too, just like Boston.
And
Um,
I do go to a place where I feel like, oh, I need to laugh for like at least the next 10 minutes for whatever reason. I
huh,
think I sent you a thing on Thanksgiving of that channel Sushi Mango. I'm, you know, him that or the Italian, they have the accent and they do this whole Italian thing, and it's hysterical for me because it's very familiar.
is it like the three guys that dress up like women? One's Greek, one's
Yes.
Italian, and then they go like, "Oh no, that's
Yes.
terrible, terrible." Yeah, that's
It's very familiar and it makes me laugh because I don't do that anymore. I don't have that anymore. So it's nice. And I think, you know, for my cousins who's you know, having losses, and certainly, you know, the other one is having memory problems, it's not an easy Thanksgiving.
right.
But that helped me because just the timing when it popped up was like, it makes me feel like at least it's a sign that the ancestors were with everybody today,
Yeah.
you know?
I feel that's true at any time of great stress, is that your family is closer to you, you know.
Hmm.
Just like we would support each other here, they support us, there, but they don't have the BS that we deal with down here,
Right.
of like the crazy uncles and stuff. But got a bunch of Rhode Islanders in the audience.
Nice.
Rhode Island, such a beautiful place. Such a
Is the
beautiful.
snow going to be like crazy in Rhode Island? How good
I
is
don't
that?
think Rhode Island's getting any snow. I could be wrong though. I
Okay.
know we didn't get any, and we're close enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But we're right by the ocean, so it's not the same. We usually get our snow from the ocean. Like we'll get a nor'easter and we'll get 4 feet of snow. Or we don't get anything.
Yeah.
Oh,
Tabby Cat wrote, if you want me to put this up, pay attention to world events. Starlink is implicated in Georgia and Romania. The Russians are cutting cables in the Baltic Sea.
yep.
Suddenly, we all know the name of Mark Ruda.
Yep.
I
He's
don't.
the Ruda is the EU guy, right? Or is that the EU guy, or is that the no, that's the NATO guy, I think, right? Mark Ruda. He's the NATO guy.
Yeah, we're not
Yeah,
done.
there's a big shift. See, like what's happening is
Not
that
done.
there's a big shift of energy, and I think the EU is concerned that a Putin apologist, a Putin person is going to be the president of the United States. That's going to change everything for them.
Yeah.
Um, and so we're freaked out too, by the way. But it's more, for us, we're across the ocean. So we're going to have our own hell to pay here, but it's their, they remember 75 years isn't long enough for them to forget
Yeah.
what happened the last time somebody like Putin got a foothold. But I don't think Putin's here. I don't feel like he has the power anymore. I could be wrong. His power is misinformation, but everything else I think is there's stuff going on in Syria. There's all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there are
NATO leader, yes, NATO. Yep.
there's a solar flare thing going on too. So if you feel like that same sort of sleeping a lot, maybe eating a lot, or like really can, something that can envelop you like that, that's kind of like, that's weird. I just ate 2 pizzas. I mean, that kind of thing. It could be this energy, which we're supposed to produce auroras, and we know that is electromagnetic energy, and it does put, it does put a weight on you. It does put a weight on your
Right.
feelings.
Not to mention stimulating the weather patterns. It makes the atmosphere is more active, so it's more volatile.
Yeah.
My teacher said that our emotions are expressed in the weather.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes sense, in a way.
Does it? That everybody was angry and then it just flipped to like 14 degrees overnight?
Cool everybody down.
Actually, crime does go down in the winter because people don't want to
be outside in the cold.
They don't want to be outside in the cold.
Yeah, I agree. I'm all with that. We have Suzanne from Kauai.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's you can describe how beautiful it is while we sit in our 20 degrees.
I just threw on I just put on an extra sweater.
I have 3 layers. I came down with 5 and I came in and took 2 off because I have this room heated, but
I usually do. I haven't put my winter coat on yet.
Ooh,
I haven't been outside.
Well, that's why.
But I do like the layer thing, and I can barely zip up the coat, and instead of my winter coat, I look at it, I'm like, oh man. Just
so Netanyahu agreed to a some sort of ceasefire.
Yes.
He got called out by the court. You know what I think is going to happen. This is my this is what I thought. I thought, okay, he's going to back off, and then if old 45 gets to be even older 47, then he's going to annex the West Bank and kick all and God knows what he's going to do in Gaza. Send them all to the desert of Egypt with and he's going to just annex the whole country, and Trump will let him. That's what I think. And then they're all going to blame it on Biden. They're going to say, "Oh, Biden this, Biden that." It was Biden's fault. But I had that thought go through my head, and I'm like, nah, I don't want to entertain that either. So I probably shouldn't have said anything.
Yeah.
I wouldn't trust that guy as far as I could throw a Sherman tank. I think he's in cahoots to make Biden look bad. He's in cahoots with Trump. I'm sure Trump said something to him when he went to see him down in Mar-a-Lago. Look, just keep this going for as long as you can, and then right before and then I'll let you do what the hell you want to do.
Really, really at the last minute, right? Truly, at the last thing he does is try to negotiate a ceasefire. That's the most important thing right now. I think we are under attack, honestly. I'm like, go back home, Joe. It's going to happen. And you know what? It's so at the end of his presidency, who's going to get credit for it.
Yeah, well, I don't think Joe Biden cares about that, but I do think it's not going to make the lives of the Palestinians. It's going to make them worse. Trump gets in there, it's worse for them. It'd be a full-fledged genocide.
Oh my God. Yeah, I don't think I hope the impact isn't really
Trumpy. Doesn't have the energy behind them like he did in 2020. Yeah, I know, but it's very well. He could just be the person opening the door, and it's for the tech guys. The tech guys want to be in charge now. They want to be the power,
He
And
doesn't have the energy, but he does. He does have the firewalls.
I don't know. I just.
I think that's what I'm more worried about is that is the cyber component, the Pluto and Aquarius component, where it's the cyber thing is this is surveil, and the
Well,
ability to
they've been
build.
surveilling for years now, right? Isn't that why Snowden is in Russia?
Yeah,
He warned us about that. Unless we sort of change our whole perspective and our view on this and start having laws that really count. I mean, there's nothing stopping from what's going on in the Ukraine to stop that could be happening here. I mean, drones are little things. They can get, under the radar into all kinds of trouble. So
I'm going to put this question up because this is significant.
it not so much the fact that there are two new moons. That'll happen if one happens at the beginning, because the cycle is about 28 days. So it two opportunities to start anew, but this new moon is pretty interesting, and the full moon is also very interesting. Something is definitely coming to fruition on that full moon, and that full moon is right on Trump's sun and north node. So, well, the sun is. Wait, the moon is. The moon. Yeah, the moon's at like 24. And then we have the new moon in Capricorn at the end of the
Yeah.
year. So it might be good because, like, we're talking about new beginnings, right? And we certainly don't like the direction we're going in now. So maybe it is something.
And that is, that's a Saturn ruled new moon at the end of the year. I guess that'll be the New Year's moon. Will it be like the 31st or the 1st?
It's the 30th, I think, and it's opposite. Okay. It's opposite the United States sun, which means that let's see, the moon. No, the moon is at. Actually, the full moon is on the United States Mars. So that could indicate some sort of expression of and martial energy. And it is in the house, in the Sibley chart anyway, of the open enemies. And so there could be some sort of, and also allies. So there's some fruition around allies and open enemies, which sounds like it might be the European Union, NATO, Ukraine kind of thing happening.
It's a 10 of Cups day.
It's a 10 of Cups.
It's a 10 of Cups day. Yeah, we'll see.
Well, that's Biden's soul. So that might be a good one for him. Louis Chatish.
She might be president for 6 days.
Who, Kamala?
Kamala.
Yeah, I remember you mentioning Louis Chatish. How did you two meet? I still have my copy of Jambalaya. Yeah, me too. I met her at there was a gathering, and they had Louis Chatish, Starhawk, and Margot Adler, who wrote the book Drawing Down the Moon. And it was 1989, and it was actually, it was in Massachusetts, and it was a whole week of like a women's group for a whole week. It totally changed my life. It was like a real important pivot point in my life. And Tish was wonderful. She was just so full of life. So full of life. Yeah. That's how I met Louisa Tish. But that was, 89? How long ago was that? 30 something years? I don't know. I can't do math in my head.
That was one of the years I graduated something.
Yeah, I graduated so many things. I could just pick a year. Oh.
That was an interesting year. No, I graduated college in 87.
College, and I graduated graduate school in '87. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're close. You're my husband's age. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
about three and a half years younger than me. Um, yes, Wendy's having trouble finding her optimism.
Yeah.
I think you have to just not focus on like the unoptimistic things and just count the blessings that you have. Really, when I get overwhelmed, I just go out and I just give thanks and walk the earth. And because a lot of our fears is, fear is about fear of the future, right?
Yeah.
And so we don't have any power in the future. We only have power in the present moment. And so we have to plant our seeds, right? We were just talking about this. What was that last night in the new moon?
Yeah.
When we did the new moon on my channel.
As long as you recognize at least it's just dragging behind, I think that's okay.
Yeah, well, it's yes, of course, it's all very much part of the process. But
Yeah.
it seems like for me the deep sorrow doesn't last as long, and the anger doesn't get as hot, and I'm able to move through it a little bit faster. And I think that's all. That's the best I can do right now. And then put my stuff out. And when I get the inkling to do a reading, do it, and
Yeah.
not be afraid to say what I see, I guess. But I did one on both of them, and it looks
Yeah.
like something big happening in December. And of course, we know that something big's going to happen because, well, first of all, everybody said it, right? All the psychics have said it, all the readers have said it, and we can feel it. We can feel a big something, a big
I
storm.
actually pulled cards with you today with 45's December. I
Yeah.
I stopped because I got new cards. That's been like my thing has been to move to a little retail therapy and sticking in staying on the arts, like really like learning a new deck or and I got two of them. So um I stopped right away and got the deck and started to pull cards with you for the December, and I got the same High Priestess, Ace of Wands. Oh, I forgot what else. There was a
Did you get the
card.
how about the devil card at the bottom?
I got the Devil card, the Four of Pentacles instead of the five. They were in different places in the
I got the
intention,
I got the four too. I got the four of them.
but there were a lot that were similar. And it reminded me of when we did cards on Vance and we kept getting the chariot, the chariot, the chariot. And I'm like, does that mean like they're on their way? Does that, you reflect on the cards that you pulled to see how did we expand the meaning of that card? Right? Because we pull these cards and this happened. What did I miss there? Or the two ambulances that were outside Mar-a-Lago, maybe, who knows? I don't know, but I think they're more front runners in this circus act. That's just my opinion. But I got some of the same ones. I'm like, interesting. So put a pin in those cards because it's going to be a really active month. And I wish, if I knew, I would have won the lottery last night.
Did you?
No,
Not
that's okay.
yet. Not yet. Not yet.
I only spent $8. It's okay. But yeah, it's one of those things that, and a lot of cards sometimes come up as like maybe you just don't, it's not time to disclose that yet. You're kind of at a standstill because things are still playing out from the other stuff.
Well, I think one of the things that another thought that has been coming to mind for me over and over again is we can't expect to be saved. Like one of the things that the Trump people vote for him because he's going to fix it all, or he's going to save us. And here we are on the other side saying Kamala and Joe are going to save us. Nobody's going to. We have to save ourselves. We have
Oh
to
yeah.
save ourselves, and we have to realize the limits to their powers and the unlimited power that we have. I don't think that we appreciate the kind of power that a united front, um, with the light shining on it, it is. I think that we're. I think if we can coalesce over things a little bit more and have a direction, but for me, I think that support the things that you want to see in the world in the ways that you can, but it really kind of depends on what we do, each one of us. I mean, if we're going to light the way, we have to be our light, right? I mean, if we want a future, we're going to have to shine the light on it. So I
Just like
that's
it's so
that's
exhausting.
that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. What's exhausting?
It's so exhausting to have to go through this episode.
Well,
Ear started ringing again. This side this time. It's really it's just honestly it's telling me like don't worry about it. Don't worry. Don't worry. I do this. I overthink it. Chill. It's gonna be okay. Uh, you know, honestly, you just have to hang in there. Worry about or just sort of understand, appreciate how it hasn't changed your immediate environment, and then sort of branch out after that, honestly.
Good as Gold says, I'm not counting on any surprises. I think that's actually a good way to be, is to be pleasantly surprised if a good thing happens, and then sort of just do your best in your daily life to move forward with both those possibilities. I mean,
Mhm.
right? I mean, what else can we do? And
Yeah.
maybe by living our lives and putting forth our voice and gathering with people of like mind, we shift the energy enough that it makes a difference. But we have to do it as a collective, I think.
This year was an 8-year, 2024. Next year, because we got to think about is a 9-year.
Yes. Yep.
So there's really it's sort of the end of the cycle. It's 1 through 9. Everything reduces down to that.
Right. And this 9-year cycle that's starting in 2025
Yeah.
began, I mean, and that's coming up in 2025, began in 2017 when he took office. So this would actually even be a natural end for a cycle there. So we'll see. We'll see. He may not get in. He may kick the bucket. I mean, I got the death card. I've been watching. Marianne got the death card.
I
I think
get that.
Lena got the death card. I mean, every reader I've looked at, that little death card is popping up, right? And
Is
it it,
there a
it just means it
date?
means big change. It means big change.
I haven't. I really haven't sat down and poured through that for these cards, but that has been coming up a lot, and I think it might be just maybe the dates. The beginning of January 3rd is a 13 over 4. The moon enters Pisces at 9:30 in the morning. So maybe like if that card keeps coming up, it might be that date to look at. That seems to work for me because I always try. I know it's really hard to pinpoint dates with the tarot, and it's really hard. There are things that just don't
Well, you know, it's
make
funny
sense.
because I was thinking about that today too. I'm like, you know, how we saw all these changes and all these things happen, and this is going to happen, that's going to happen, this is going to
Yeah.
happen, and we think it's going to happen in a month. It might take 6 months for what we see to happen. So that's the problem with the cards is it's really hard. You can see the trends, but you know you can't.
Yeah.
Um, what do you want to ask? I know you have some new cards burning a hole in your.
Ooh, yeah. I brought, yeah, and actually I had the Nick Bantock wounded cards that um they're archetype cards that I pull. I was thinking earlier, like, where has this left its mark, its scar on you, right? Because we're sort of still trying to close the wound, I guess, in a way.
I
But
think
where is this sort of left a scar? And I got to reflect. The reflection. Actually, this makes sense to me. It's reflection. And one party is younger and one is visibly older. And it is about the memories we reflect on that make us anxious about what might occur.
right.
So if that's the wound, that's just an image. See what I know.
Of all the things, the hardest thing for me to hear was that Jack Smith was gonna do whatever he's doing there. And I realize that there's a chance like he could always go back and that, but that's not going to happen. He's not going to go back. We might as well just,
He might not be alive.
that is just like, it's so devastating. It's just so devastating. So I guess we have to have faith, right?
Yeah. He might, yeah. I mean, we have to constantly remind ourselves he wasn't well. He wasn't well physically, he wasn't well mentally. It was visible. Um, it's not just malignant narcissism. This is like, clinical stuff that doesn't get better. And we're not going to see an improvement.
Are you talking about Dumpf?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He's
So whoever is projecting 4 years, I think, needs to pull some of those years off and is really having a hard time reflecting on, oh my God, those 4 years, right? It's that we need to let go of that because we might be worrying about nothing.
right. Right. Well, don't worry. Be happy. Be happy. Be
Mm-hmm.
happy. Don't worry. Be happy. I'm going to pick 5 cards on this coming week.
Okay.
All right. We got the Chariot. So something moving very, very quickly.
It's at the bottom of this deck. I haven't even
The Chariot.
shuffled it. It's at the bottom of this deck. This is a powerful deck.
Heartbreak. So there's going to be somebody's going to get their heart broken. This is also a betrayal card. So a quick betrayal, maybe. Temperance, healing. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Okay. So there's going to be some balance, some tempering, some alchemy. We could use a little alchemy. New ideas, the Ace of Wands. Something new. So whatever happens is happening quick. And the Knight of Swords, more quick action, running into battle. running into battle. I'm going to have to pick more than just a couple more.
Boston says, without throwing cards, we can see that he isn't going to make it through all 4 years.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's like this thread of sanity.
The devil.
But the projection is out there, and that is to scare you, honestly, because it's not real. Right?
Deals with the devil and the Ace of Swords and action. An action taken. So something's definitely happening this week. We have 2 aces in this. So 2 new things. 2 new things. And the devil is here. And I got the devil, which is, I guess, the Elon Musk card now because there's big X on top. And then I got 2 of Cups, which is, two people, making a commitment or some
Yeah,
contract.
that's those 2. Yeah.
And then the Ace of Swords.
Ooh, do you think that their relationship might be severed?
You mean him and Musk?
You don't read the cards in a dark way. Yeah.
I think. Well, I think something about their relationship is going to come out quickly. Maybe that's what I'm saying. Let's see.
Okay.
What are they calling him now? Leonia?
Yes.
Leonia instead of
Elonia.
Elonia. Because he's always next to.
And it's so short-lived, because if any of that is true about him having the temper tantrums and having an addiction to whatever whatever medication he's addicted to, the thing about that combination in a marriage,
I have a question.
it's scheduled to fail, right? We just need to predict when.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What's the energy like right now at Mar-a-Lago? I'm just curious.
I went into that ambulance story a little bit just because I got new decks and thought that was interesting. And it was a lot of pentacles. So I'm going to just say some kind of overdose. That's what I got out of that.
I got the Queen of Cups.
Mm-hmm. What was the question?
What's going on at Mar-a-Lago right now? So I get the Queen of Cups. So there's I don't know, this might be Guilfoyle or somebody like that, or Laura or somebody like that. And then we have the 7 of Swords. Somebody's trying to steal something, get away with something. The 8 of Cups, there's a plan that hasn't come to fruition, so they could be abandoning that. And then we have the Fool, which is a leap of faith. And then we have Strength, which is also a karma card. So, and this is a Leo card, right? And Leo, Mars is going to go retrograde in Leo this week, and it's right on the north node of the United States. And it's a big deal because Trump has his Mars in Leo, and Kamala does too. But
it looks like the kid is moving to the White House there. The fool is packed his little satchel of McDonald's coupons and is moving to the White House. That kind of scares me. So I got the Page of Wands.
Okay, so information.
Yeah. I get the Tower.
Yeah. Yeah, I had that in Trump's cards too.
All right. So the Page of Wands, the Tower.
A message that creates A seismic shift, perhaps?
And the Two of Swords.
Okay.
So maybe malaria does not want to live there so far. The Knight of Swords,
Yeah, I got him too, huh?
the young boy.
The impulsive knight.
I'm going to stop right here. And the World.
Something coming to an end. Yeah.
The end of a cycle, which is also the energy of tomorrow, 21/3. So
Yes.
also something to put in the back of your, if you're looking to educate yourself on dating, dates, and tarot, let me know, because I have charts and I have these things that come up about, oh, this could be the day, and I struggle with it. It's still hard. And the bottom is the Emperor. Oh my God.
What?
The bottom of the deck. Death.
Of the Emperor?
The Emperor. This is an intense deck. This deck is intense.
And what's the name of that deck? So people can...
This is the guided hand tarot. I just got it today. I just unboxed it. And it's really, really interesting. And I can't remember. And here's the guidebook. This is like the best part, right? It's not like a book, like the Dolly deck. This is it.
That's the whole thing. Yeah.
I love it. So it's really, I think it'd be like moderate advanced kind of deck. Knowing your suits, because a lot of the arts is kind of melts together. So it's really, really cool. I really like it. And it says death to the Emperor. And it just felt like it was buzzing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I got the Rosebud deck that I pulled yesterday on Thanksgiving, which I really like too. The card stock is a little thicker and they're a little bit harder to shuffle. So I like these, and I don't remember where. I think I probably Googled collage art tarot and went down that rabbit hole. But that was my, like, helping me get over my sort of, what the heck is going on, trying to find more symbolism, expanding your profile, and kind of opening up for new adventure kind of therapy. I didn't go over budget. I did not. But some of the cards that I really like in that same kind of format are out of print.
Yeah.
Or and I don't want to use them anymore. And some of those cards are also bent and worn, and that needs to be, I can't really use them, and I can't replace them.
Right. So what do you want to, maybe one more? Well, it's 8:00 now, but maybe we could do one more card pull. Anybody have anything that they might want us to look into?
Linda got the death card as well.
Yes.
So that's January 3rd. If it's a popular thing, it's,
Well, January 6th is a Tower Day, right?
I know. And honestly, what a way to learn tarot, huh?
Yeah. And astrology. Yeah. That's the day that Mars goes back into
It's
Cancer,
intense.
retrogrades into Cancer the
Here's
same
a good
day.
question.
Yeah.
Here's a good question. We'll do this. Most people ask, will Trump be inaugurated? And the answer is no. But does that mean it will be Kamala or will it be Vance?
Well, I know Ellie Down Under says it's going to be Vance.
Let's ask, like, if it'll be either one. I'll use two different decks. And I'll put one down for Kamala, which honestly, because she has just disappeared, I don't feel like there's anything left there. You know?
Yeah, I don't feel her presence that much. Like I said, I think she's sequestered. And imagine if she knows that there was this that it was stolen and she has to sit with that. How would you feel? Like would we feel, I guess. Okay.
Same.
This will be Vance. I'm going to use two different decks too.
Yeah.
And this will be Kamala. I'm only picking 3 cards, I think. Unless I have to pick more. I've been having some weird dreams. Some weird stuff.
Interesting.
Oops. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, let's see what Vance got. Huh. Interesting.
What'd you get?
So for Vance, I got the King of Cups. Sorry guys. The King of Cups. Then I got the Lovers, and then the Three of Cups. So there's some sort of celebration here. Okay. But then for Kamala, I got the Two of Wands, which is, I always see the Two of Wands as like deciding on the next step. And then I got the Tower and the Empress.
Huh.
Which to me, like they're both in a way, both of these are yes on both sides of these. But I feel like this card is more powerful. Like the Empress is more of a powerful energy. So what did you get? I can't tell. Honestly, I can't tell from
It's
this.
her, right? It might be one of those things where the cards don't want you to know.
Maybe
For
she had
Kamala,
to
I got
decide
she's
that. Go ahead.
the Page of Pentacles. So she's kind of thinking about the contract that's available there. She's kind of off on her own. I do get the Chariot for the next card,
Oh, good.
which seems to be like she's already there.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen the bottom one yet. This is on the bottom.
Is that the devil? What is that?
The High Priestess.
Oh, yeah. See, that's pretty powerful. Something hidden. Something hidden. There's something
Right.
hidden.
And for Vance, for JD, he's fighting with his wife. So 5 of Wands.
Well, that could even be all the Republicans trying to, one up everybody.
Yeah. So there's some kind of struggle. He's not going to get the respect. And I just felt like somebody pulled it back in my hair. The 10 of Water. So it just seems like there's going to be a hurdle to get their respect, because why did that happen? And then the 5 of air, or that's on the bottom. The 5 of air, where it's like he's trying to get away with something, you know?
Abuse of power.
Anything in the 5 range. And there's 2 5s, a 5 of fire and a 5 of air. Sandwiched in between the 10 of cups, which has been the Republican Party, right? So it's going to be kind of, he's going to get the shit kicked out of him if he gets in, basically. Honestly.
Yeah. I mean, he's had what, 2 years of experience as a senator, and while he was in the Senate, he did nothing.
Yeah. So we'll see. There's going to be a lot of events. It's actually 7:06. There's going to be a lot of events. It's going to be okay because you got us.
We're going to be here.
This is good.
We're going to be here as long as we're able to be here, right? I mean, unless there's like a total like crackdown on people having any kind of opinion that they can verbalize, we'll be here. And
I know it's too late to shut me up.
Yeah, me too. People have been trying to shut me up my whole life, and I still persist. And yet, she persisted.
Yeah.
And yet she persisted. So I think
it's not going to happen.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on things. We'll meet next week on my channel for Mystic Sisters. And it's going to be a rip-roaring week. So we might have emergency. Is that the dog? We might have emergency like getting on and like.
No. Yeah, we might. You never know. I'm definitely here for it. Giblets is sleeping, or I would show you how he sleeps, but you see him sleep in my arms all the time, and we'll be on tomorrow morning for Time Out with Giblets. No, there was just a weird knock behind the wall. Honestly, there's some activity. It's a new moon. You guys go light your new moon candle. Get your altar set up.
That's right.
Okay, mine.
And have the vision. It's a new moon of vision. We have to start doing our magic, ladies and gentlemen, our magic. And our magic is our imagination. We need to utilize it to imagine a different scenario and then take steps in our day, in our life, in a very practical, pragmatic way, and move ourselves forward and not get caught up in the fear and loathing and if you're going to get caught up in anything, get caught up in the vision.
Yeah.
Because the energy will support that.
Yep.
Yeah.
All righty. Thank you. And
thanks everybody for joining us. We love you. Take care. See you next week.